Oh,
Check, check.
Check, check, check. Keep it going. Keep it going. Oh, there we go. It's to the stream. Oh, just yours?
Oh,
Because I see. I just had the stream volume on and it just popped off.
mm-hmm. Oh,
There we go. It's working just with a delay.
yeah.
We just had to
Blaze
wait.
there.
Hello, hello. Just in case you guys can hear us. What's up? In the chat, we got Carol, Aunt Sharma, who else? Shigur, Heya, Nuggety, Insides, MHR. Who do we got here? Argo Soul,
Argo Soul's in
Vishnu,
here. Yeah.
the Skog himself. Daniel's here. The whole kit and caboodle.
Mm-hmm.
Shenlong just dropping in as well.
All right.
Loud and clear. Love that.
Okay. Should we do our spiel again?
Yeah, from the top. Let's do
From
it.
the top.
Chat,
Hey,
the stream just
everybody.
started.
The stream is live. Our audio is audioing, and welcome, citizens of Aereo, to another tournament affiliate tournament day. A lot of deja vu. A lot of deja vu. Yes, words indeed, K Moore. I'm Nugget. I'm coming to you live. We're bringing you 2 bracket championships and then a grand finals match. Ross is here. How's it going?
Ooh, yeah. I'm here and I'm ready. I'm all juiced up on coffee. And who can complain about 2 Reign of Titans tournaments in 2 days, people? This is what we're looking for. This is the future. This is the future.
This is the future.
We're living in the future. But yeah, all in all, we got 2 brackets to polish off. We'll get to grand finals. We'll crown another champion. 2 champions in one weekend. I just could not be more excited.
Maybe we'll even get 2 game 5s. Who knows?
Ooh, yeah. Maybe we'll take this grand finals all the way to grand finals. Game 5 again. Spoilers.
True
like yesterday.
Finals. Yes. Yes. Unbeatables in here. Welcome.
Speaking of champions. Speaking of
we are blessed.
We are in the presence of a undefeated, well, what should we say, a current reigning affiliate tournament champion.
Yes. Doing so in spectacular fashion with the reverse 3-0 as well.
Yeah, that was a show. Folks, if you haven't caught up on the content, you can watch the past broadcasts right here live on Twitch. It also gets exported straight to YouTube, I think, or it will be eventually. Anyway, catch up on the content. Yesterday was wild. That's some spoiler. I know. I mean, there was plenty of at everyone announcements yesterday proclaiming the victors and runner-up, etc. Here we go. Enough with yesterday. We are on to today. We got Poison Shadows playing Merfolk, the Sea Titan.
Yes,
here in bracket 1 finals.
Outlar piloting Merfolk and RCS behind the reins of Shadows. What a good Poison Titan.
That's right. So shadowy, so mysterious, so toxic, if you will. Just a quick shout out to Team Fury. Just going to go ahead and plant that here, plant my flag where it needs to be planted, and then we'll move on. But yeah, we see Forsaken Blade in the gold, rare cosmetic, and then we have the epic Spike Shield over here on Shadows.
Epic Spike Shield.
Again, we got to bring it up. Over on the other side, we've got the regular Forsaken Blade. No shame there. A great weapon to have.
Mm-hmm.
And no offhand for Merfolk.
Offhand. Getting that bonus.
Both Titans playing with their goggles on and their ear fins popping. I don't know if they're called ear fins, Chad.
Sure.
Ear fins. Here comes the magical slash. That's a -20 for all stats for Shadows. Shadows plays Titan Bliss, unaffected by the stat debuff. Here comes a mana drain to sap Shadows of every last thing they had for the turn. Mirage is going to put up a block on whatever the next attack is from Merfolk this turn.
Ooh,
the old fair serve, fair return, mana drain in response. Monsoon is the canceled scroll, which is kind of massive because of how much that scroll costs. The effect isn't, earth-shattering, but the fact that Merfolk had to spend 60 there for nothing. To be ultimately fair, Shadows had to spend 45 to play Mirage. But net positive for Shadows there in that exchange. Cute Batek, welcome to the stream. First time chatter.
Hey.
I'm so glad to see all these new folks in here today. Speaking of new folks, Cute Batak is the newest follower of the stream.
Hey, shout outs. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here.
Here comes Tsunami.
Titan action.
It's gonna be a day.
Tsunami for 124. My goodness. Sinkhole to follow with 87. Shadows now in the red. Merfolk looking very comfortable with all of the green stats. And then they reset, of course. Shadows back to being a little bit healthy. Interesting to see how this Poison Titan shakes out. Going to be our first viewing on the stream since the latest balance patch.
Yeah, Poison getting some love for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see how it goes. It was unable to do much yesterday, but maybe it was just too early. 48 hours versus 36 or 48 or so. Forsaken Slash, that's been good for a while. That's going to take all the stats down by 50. But the Purification going to peel off all those stacked up debuffs. Merfolk saving themselves from probably 50 to 80 end of turn damage from Shadows.
Still not looking. I wouldn't be comfortable if I was Shadows right now.
Yeah, Shadows trying to hang in there to see if they can grab this game one. We're getting down to the bottom of the scroll pile. We've got 11 versus 9 total scrolls back in reserve to finish this thing out. Shadows back into the yellow health. Merfolk there as well. Chat's letting me know Batak is duck in English. Cool. From what language? We're here to learn, chat. Also, Monk X in the house. Glad you're here, Monk X. First time chatter as well.
Woohoo.
All right, that turn was, I would say, marginally uneventful. Players are kind of slowing down here as we get to the bottom of the scroll stack. Shadows with a hefty scroll lead if it comes down to that. So again, for those that may not know, if you play your final scroll and the opponent is not dead, they win the match. So running out of scrolls is a reasonable thing to be afraid of. Shadows now back down into the red health. Infected Stab, one of the larger damage scrolls. Oh, sorry. I was thinking the other. I was thinking the other one where the skull gets stabbed with a giant sword. But some of that end of turn damage.
Yeah,
racking up here.
Yep.
From Hindi. What? Ooh.
Oh.
What?
Merfolk throws in the towel.
The concede?
The concede.
The take it to game 2, baby.
Just run it back, run it back, run it back.
Run it
Okay,
back.
there,
Run it
there we
back.
are. Game
Less talk, more
one.
walk, baby.
Yeah, game one goes to Shadows. Look at that.
All right. Shadows takes game one, and we'll see if they can polish it off with one more win. Allaire going to have to win 2 in a row with Merfolk. I guess just didn't have any damage left in the tank.
Yeah, those
Just Shadows
only
had
a
survived.
disrupt, not enough output for it. To quote Skog, oof, indeed.
Yeah, this is RCS playing Shadows and Allaire or Alar playing Merfolk. The damage is done. That's right, Queen. It was written in the stars. The bottom of the scroll pile was not friendly to Merfolk.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. Last match, we saw Shadows have an entire hand of yellow scrolls.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yep.
Like this build is intentionally tanky in terms of healing.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked yesterday about that drink acid scroll with the plus 100, very, very strong healing option at this point. Regeneration. Speaking of a little healing for Shadows, Merfolk staying healthy as well. In fact, overflowing their mana bar and taking a touch of damage for that.
We know stats never stay very static for long, but it's interesting here. We've seen Shadows dumped a lot of those baseline stats into defense, which kind of seems to make sense for some of the meta of this poison. But having your base agility be just like 5, with Merfolk having base 16, even with stat nanigans, you lend yourself towards having to be on the back foot a lot. It didn't really shake out, though, obviously, in the advantage of Merfolk in this last one. Many other factors to consider, but we'll see. It's a lot tighter here at this point in game one. We were had more red stats and more health bars in the red. But Merfolk looking very healthy. 80 Magicka, all of the stat boosts there.
Yeah. 80 Magicka, nothing to mess with. And again, see, having access to some of these 0 mana scrolls, Merfolk can just, in theory, play when you think they've tapped out on their mana options. They just hit you with a 180 damage tsunami. Oof. Little headbutt there from Merfolk to take Shadows down into the yellow health. We know they've got plenty of healing options. There's the drink acid. Speaking of fresh off the press, plus 100.
For poison.
Yeesh.
For poison.
I mean, poison. That is, someone can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that is Poison's only elemental healing scroll. So it sort of makes it a must slot for Poison building at this point.
Right.
And if you've got it in your Titan's DNA, that's a spicy meatball in this patch for sure. Siren Song going to take away the little mana that could for Shadows.
Purification going to wipe Merfolk's slate pretty clean now.
Just insult to injury to lay on that drowning keyword as well. Shadow's going to be earning back 10 less mana at the end of turn.
Health bar's pretty close here, but Shadows has no mana. 40
no
nothing.
Mana. And the scroll count is much closer this match as well. We've got 11 total scrolls to 8 total scrolls. I mean, we can't go without saying Merfolk literally ran out of damage last match, so it's going to be up to them to find the right spots. Here comes Entangled. Now's the right time. Here comes Sinkhole for about half of Shadow's life.
Here's the barreling down. A little pause for regen.
Can they close it? Can they close it? No. Lethargy going to take 10 damage on Shadows. But now they finally get up to 50 mana, which still, not a great number. If you can think about all of the things you can do with 50 mana, it is not great. Forsaken Slash for 56. and all the stats in the dumpster. Courage,
Oh,
not even going to be able to pull them out of this hole.
Nope. And then the Hydro Slap should take it. There we go. Merfolk takes game 2. You know, you hit that surrender button, and then something ignites within a player.
That's right. You have a different type of fire inside, and Alar says no thank you to a 2-0. Let's take this to game 3, see what happens. We saw RCS had some fire in their hand, but just unable to play anything with less than 50 mana for what, 2 or 3 turns straight. So the C doing C things. C doing C things. All right, let's take it to game 3, people. The mulligan phase. Looking fresh. RCS playing Shadows. Alar playing Merfolk. Who's going to grand finals and who will have to sit and watch with the rest of us in the Twitch chat or YouTube? Disrupt first scroll from Merfolk. Catches the Entangled. That is a shot to the gut for sure.
That's huge.
3 turns of value. Protection Ward going to attack on 25 defense for the rest of the turn, which is going to save Shadows a little bit of strife, but nothing too wild here as Merfolk decides to sort of pump the brakes at the end of this turn. Yeah, catching an Entangled is wild times. Wild times.
Sets cuts off the stage setting really early on there. Merfolk was also played that regen, able to mitigate some of that end of round tick damage from poison, but just turn 1, see how it goes.
Just turn 1. I will say, contrary to the previous 2 games, Merfolk winning the total scroll count at the beginning of this turn. Actually played less scrolls than Shadows in turn 1.
Okay, Courage here. Steel Punch is going to be juicier with that 40 defense now. Life Steal going to be coming out from the Vampiric Strike. Endless Trench here from Merfolk.
Oof. Big 145. This is a best of 3 chat. This is a bracket final. So this is the deciding match for bracket 1. One of these players moving to grand finals, the other having to sit it out and try again next week. Whew. Both players with 1 win so far. We know that both Titans are capable of winning the matchup. It's just about the navigation station. Tsunami. Yikes. Lots of damage. 60 Magicka. No joke. Here comes the mana drain. Merfolk going to be down to 20 unless they can do some craziness. Hydro Slap. They might just be hitting the gas here.
Oh, man. Shadows is going to be in a world pain. Wing Slash. Sailor's Chant.
Is this scroll 3 or 4? Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be the Sailors into damage combo. I was going to go nutty.
Alchemist going to come in very clutch for Shadows there, bringing them back out of danger for now. But that stat line on Merfolk is looking pretty spicy.
Yeah, Shadows, in hot water for sure. Winning the scroll count, though, if it does come down to that, we know they have tools to sort of get them to the end game. We'll just see if those tools are available. There's a mana drain from Merfolk, and Shadows is right back to where the danger zone of the previous match. Hey, yo! Gets the Siren Song, though, which means they save themselves from getting minus 40 mana. Not that they have mana.
Right. Now
but Shadow's looking healthy.
Shadow's looking healthy, looking strong with the mana as well. Merfolk now also bottom of the barrel for mana resources.
It's going to be a scrap from here on out.
Yes.
There's no easy way to the finish line for either one of these Titans. Merfolk found out first match what sort of the damage pacing needs to look like, but they've hit all of their big scrolls. They've done the damage. I think it's there. It's just whether it's in hand right now or not. Magical Slash going to tear down the stat line, which is already 0. But damage is good too.
All right, Warriors Gambit gonna help mitigate some, bringing two of those stat lines back to base, but agility in the dumps, defense in the dumps. Shadows gets the opportunity to solve first or resolve first here. Much more measured.
Oh my, 1,000 cuts,
cuts.
big scroll.
105. Wow, Merfolk at 29. Sinkhole also should be big. Bug Invasion's going to add some tick. Oh,
the purification save.
Wow, I was just about to say it's over end of turn, but the purification coming in so clutch. Merfolk holding on with 11 and then gets to resolve first. What?
What's in the hand for Merfolk? A headbutt. That's not the key to success. Is it over? Shadows, Spike Shield.
Spike Shield
game.
Is enough. Definitely enough.
Whoa.
Jeez.
RCS.
Shadows. Wow.
Moving forward with Shadows. Alar played heavenly, but could not make it out with Merfolk. GG's. And one side of Grand Finals has been decided.
RCS will be moving on to Grand Finals of our affiliate tournament 2. You heard me, folks.
Wowzer. That was the purification save was brilliant. Literally hit him with the toxin. He's already cracking his knuckles over there like, hey, end of turn. I got this thing closed up. Nothing you can do about that end of turn damage. Psych. You can just peel it away before the turn ends. Just eraser. Magic eraser. Mr. Clean, magic eraser it away. Also, big shouts to the chat right now. You guys are blowing it up, and I love it. So many people reacting in the middle of the game. Lots of cheering, etc. So big thanks to the Twitch chat. You guys are crushing. Let's see if we can keep that hype going through the entirety of the stream. Invite your friends in here. Post this link around everywhere.
Because we got folks in the chat.
We're crushing.
5 more followers. There we go. Yeah.
Kemor says, why do the commentators act like they don't know whether the game's going to end? For one, it keeps the excitement rolling. Like, we're not going to be like, well, curtains, baby, but we can only see one player. So things like that purification, I end up putting my foot in my mouth when I'm like, oh, RCS has got this one bagged up. And then it's like, nope. But also, eventually, I'm hoping, I'll just speak for myself. Eventually, in tournament mode, dedicated platform, I'm hoping we won't be able to see scrolls, or we can toggle that on and off or something so that we can share that experience with the audience of like, what's going to happen, But yeah.
I mean, if you want us to just spoil everything the whole time, K-Mars, like, I mean, if you want, should we put a poll up in the chat? I mean,
speaking, we can put polls and predictions as soon as we hit that affiliate level chat. How much? What do we need? We need what? Like 2 more followers to get to our goal? I haven't checked today,
5,
to be honest.
5 more followers.
Chat, can we get 5 more followers today on the Twitch stream? Also, if you've not subscribed on YouTube, it is also free. It is also free. Following on Twitch is free, and subscribing on YouTube is free. And taking a screenshot during the stream,
yes, indeed,
posting it in the proof and submissions channel on Discord gets you some free titanium. I got to be honest. I almost hit, who was it? Kem, or were you? Anyway, I went on a shopping spree yesterday, chat, with all that free titanium I've been earning. I bought myself 2 new golden weapons yesterday, and I'm not even ashamed. I don't even miss the titanium. I love it. Gone like the wind. If anybody else is, just really, anybody else just want to sell off, their gold collection. We're always shopping. Talk about the cards. Scroll will show it we can see whether the game ends. I don't know what you mean. I don't know. But we'll keep all your feedback in mind, of course. No new followers as of just now. Just
7
checked.
seconds ago. Okay.
As of somebody might have followed the last 6 seconds, but I checked it 7 seconds ago. Not
True.
quite there. Chat,
Ooh.
we're firing up the brand new series for us. This is bracket number 2 championships. We've got ourselves SB9 Stick versus Deadpool. We got a Poison, Gumbara, and a Dusk Beneficiary. Beneficiary, maybe. That's not how you spell it regularly, right?
No.
No. It must be. It has to be the same word, though, right? I feel like it's
Yeah.
way too close, too
Sure.
close to be lost in translation. But yeah, have not seen Deadpool in a final. I don't think. SV9. I think we've seen
Yes.
a veteran of the of this high up in the bracket. So well done. We got another Poison, and we've got a Dusk this time, which is an interesting matchup. I do think that just based on weapons alone, we are not seeing the same type of Poison.
No, I
build.
would say so.
This is looking much more forward-facing, definitely swinging that lore carver and trying to work hard to chop down the life of a beneficiary. Dusk, the recipient of maybe on paper the harshest nerf of the patch.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in my experience, I'll just say me playing in the last 2 days, Dusk is still pretty darn good. Dusk is still pretty darn good.
Still a very strong element for sure.
Yeah, Loveless Lunge still hitting for 98 or healing for 98 while it hits for 70 is still pretty good, chat. It's just not quite as busted as it was pre-patch. Again, as a Dusk fanboy, I can say I was really loving the era. All right, Gumbara.
Yeah, lots of end of turn take damage from that poison building up on beneficiary, pulls them back pretty close in terms of health totals between the two players. Not too many statnanigans here. Beneficiary is leading the charge with 1 agility point. I haven't seen a courage or an entangle yet, so I'm not sure if I am seeing the right game. Ross, help me out.
What? They're just buried in the deck. Let's be honest. They're just buried in the deck.
Yeah.
But Beneficiary has 3 stacks of that drained keyword up to 75% on those lifesteal scrolls. And using that agility from Second Wind. I mean, people sometimes forget that also gives you agility. It does. Most people are using it to scrounge extra mana points, but
yes,
it does also give you agility, which in a matchup like this one, especially when Dusk needs to apply those drained keywords prior to really hitting hard. But also playing things like Forsaken Sword on turn 1, scroll 1 is just huge. We just saw last game somebody played Disrupt turn 1, scroll 1, and caught an entangle. There's an entangle as well.
There's entangle back to back and a courage. Okay.
Oh, they were just waiting. Beneficiary down into 49. Is it the closer from Gumbara? No, has to pump the brakes, get some mana, and an alchemist to polish things off.
Yep.
Definitely in control of
tick
that.
Damage though. The poison damage. The poison damage. I forgot to. I saw so much. I was like, there is a lot of stuff stacked on that right side. Well played. Jeez.
And 1 for the capybara. SV9 Stick in control of the series 1-0. Wow. How do you literally forget that a Poison Titan is a Poison Titan? I mean, I guess one way is that the last Poison Titan we watched did very minimal end of turn damage. There was just not that much, but someone in the chat after Cappy takes that game says, Cappy, you should play more smarter.
Cappy.
I mean, finish it off, If you win the match, I think you played great,
Yeah.
But there's always room for improvement, as I keep telling myself. Frustrated every weekend to be out in round 1.
It's a good mantra. It's a good thing. It's a good pattern to hover on there.
That's right. There it is. We see that one agility point paying dividends on offense and defense for Beneficiary. Gets the Forsaken Slash on Scroll Slot 1, and then 1,000 Cuts comes out for Gumbara, and it would have done way more damage had the stats not been peeled away there.
Mm-hmm.
So just to keep it everyone fresh in everyone's mind, this is a Poison versus Dusk matchup. So lots of potential for health bars to be, ups and downs, as well as that end of turn damage that toxin and poison that Poison is known for. There is a purification to peel off the entangled. Hex of Dusk.
And Magical Slash that just got played in that slot too. Really, really smart first slot play from Gumbara there. Drink acid, 100 HP back in your
They
pocket.
know. They know. The Baras know the secret. The secret sauce is just to pour that acid all over your face. Not financial advice.
No.
No,
not even remote.
In the game only, chat. In fact, out of the game, it gives you less health.
Yes.
Oof. Gumbara down under half health, and there's the entangled. So maybe it was some other debuff. Oh, it was a Forsaken that got peeled off earlier. Yes. Rejection going to build that drained keyword 25% of the time. Gumbara saw it coming. Grabs 85 more health points. Here's the drain life. Gonna do a little here and a little there. Coat weapon. Gonna put more of those end of turn damages that really start to stack up. Beneficiary
have been controlling their resources really well, but Beneficiary's health bar hasn't moved a whole lot. So at some point,
they'll just sneak it.
Do the thing.
They'll just sneak it in there, like all of a sudden their health bar will just start ticking down. End of turn, 200 damage, get wild. But yeah, Beneficiary definitely doing more of the moving parts here in this matchup so far. Entangled now the other direction, followed by a steel punch. Gumbara maybe ready to hit the thrusters. Oh, Loveless Lunge on 0 stats though. Still gets 100% lifesteal, chat. Just in case you thought Dusk is dead. It's not. It's not. Alchemist for Gumbara. Pulling them back up into the orange. Second win from Beneficiary. Keeping them healthy as well. And still has that agility lead for the next turn. Chat, who you guys got in this one? You guys have been quiet in this matchup. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here. Look at all those red status indicators on the right side there for Beneficiary. I mean, there's plenty on the left side, but none of them that deal damage. Alchemist, scroll 1 for Beneficiary.
Ooh, mana drain coming from Gumbara. A lot of mana nanigans coming from Gumbara here. Really kind of throttling Beneficiary this whole time, but still not putting out huge damage numbers. And as I say that, we got Heavy Carve coming in for 80.
All right.
Coming in under 10 scrolls for both players now. 8 apiece.
Yeah, definitely in the danger zone here. Look at this Magicka number for Gumbara, though. 45 Magicka could definitely put that to good use. Beneficiary with no stats, but 65 mana, able to play, the majority of scrolls. Soul Search. Gumbara preparing for the end. Doomsday Prepper, ready for these final 8 scrolls. Needs the extra stats. Broken Shriek, going to hurt.
It's hard. Swarm Attack, going to cut health in about half.
Is this going to close? I mean, the end of turn damage. We've got it on lock, chat. We're looking this time. Beneficiary
doesn't even need it. There
Checkmate.
It is. Gumbara.
And Capybara.
Mm-hmm.
Moving forward to grand finals to take on RCS. GG's to both players. That was so sick.
GG's indeed.
Whew. Cappy versus
I gotta
RCS. Yeah, everybody take a deep breath. I mean, that was Use blood magic. I'm as a professional blood magic Sudokuer. That is not the move. Man, affiliate chat seems to be popping off. If you guys aren't in the Discord, what are you doing? Oh, good. I pulled things over. Things are falling off the desk. Ross is getting a bit too excited over here. Oh my God.
That's okay.
So much stuff going wrong.
Yes.
But can it be wrong when it feels so right?
I mean, a Poison v Poison Grand Finals feels pretty solid to me.
Yeah. After did we see a single point? We didn't. There was one Poison in bracket finals yesterday, I think. Somebody's going to fact check me here. I saw a stat that said we had 6 elements in semifinals, which is pretty sick.
That's pretty wild.
Sick. The good news is both of these poisons play pretty darn differently. Like we are about to see a full masterclass on the spectrum that is poison.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know. We'll see what the weapon changes do as well. If you guys know, the affiliate rules are you may change weaponry between rounds of the bracket. You may not change weaponry during a match. So during this best of 5, players will have to lock in with one equipment setup, one main hand, one offhand, if they so choose. And we shall see. Yeah, chat thinking it's going to be a good time. Lots of games end with scroll count. I would bet that there is going to be a real squeaker of a game. I'm just going to project it out there with my crystal ball. Yeah. I'm going to say we are going to see the end of turn tick damage make this very interesting. Just with the healing of RCS and the just sort of the output, the damage output of Capybara, we are going to have ourselves a good old-fashioned time. Ross is not updated. What?
What's not updated?
I'm not updated. You can now. Oh, you can switch weapons now? Did I miss this? This just in from tournament organizers. Ross, shout out. Sure. MHR, what's good? Thanks for being here and fueling some of the chat thunder. I'm going to look for a little rules clarification real quick. Anyone want to play a side game? Hey, looking for side wagers here.
Just thirsty, just wanting to amp up that action.
Okay. Big shout out to the tournament organizers today, by the way.
Yes.
RCS being one of them. Skog the other, if I'm not mistaken. You can change weapons. All right, this just in from people on the ground. Alrighty. Ross is wrong for the umpteenth time. Said it out loud for the whole world to hear.
Yeah. Asterisk. Always with the asterisks. That's okay.
You know what they say, Chad? As long as you claim your mistakes and make them right, they're not mistakes at all.
They're just learning opportunities.
They're just happy little accidents.
Yes, indeed. You know what is no accident, though? Our grand finals match kicking off right now. We've got Gumbara versus Shadows. Best of 5. Poison v Poison. The Ditto. This is either going to be a slugfest or
a sludgefest.
Sludgefest or slugfest. There you go.
I mean, Shadows came out hot. They went with Forsaken into Courage. So, oh wow! But now it's all torn away. It's all gone, chat. I missed. What did you mention? We were just talking about switching weapons during the set, which I've heard is allowed. Now that I'm Anyway, back to the match.
Yep.
Shadows already down to the minimum mana possible. Now we saw them play entire matches like this in their bracket finals match. So Shadows in a comfortable spot, not necessarily on paper, but in an experience type of way. Shadows has played from this point before. Healing Nature going to keep plus 30 health end of turn for 3 turns, which is going to be interesting because of the minus 45 coming from Gumbara.
Yeah, Gumbara there with a real clutch purification, wiping off a ton of poison damage, and then layering on even more of their own. Shadows is going to have more damage, but also some more healing to mitigate end of turn for the next few.
Yeah,
Looking
health
comfy in the
bars
stat line, though.
relatively even. Protection Ward, a plus 25 for this turn. Switcheroo, another little stat management scroll from Gumbara. Gonna take some of the Magicka. Here comes the taunt, which is going to lower the defensive numbers, going to sort of counteract that plus 25 from early in the turn.
Major recovery here.
Not a super noteworthy turn, which I think benefits Shadows as they are trying to wait out this. Oh, sorry, benefits Gumbara because they're trying to wait out this Courage stat buff on Shadows, which they have successfully now come out on the other side. Stat lines back to base plus individual buffs. Our DNA in the chat. What up, Team Fury? I see you. I see the representation, people, and I love it. Coat weapon. Poisoned drink. Not
much
the drink
mana
acid.
For Shadows. Nope, not quite yet. Haven't seen it from either player yet.
Oof.
Haven't needed to for on Gumbara's side anyway. There it is. As I say.
Cheers to the drink acid. Meditate for
cheers. Cheers. Both clinking glasses, popping the cork on that beaker.
And Gumbara feeling quite healthy, only down, like 5 or 10 total health right now.
Yes.
We are getting down to the final 10 scrolls-ish. 11 scrolls total for Shadows, 9 for Gumbara. I mean, it's hard to say because a lot of there's some elements where you can just count how many massive damage scrolls there are left, right? But for poison, everything is so kind of snowball that it's hard to be like, oh, they're going to be running low on damage or running low on healing or whatever else. There's just a lot of turn by turn persistent effects, and there's a lot of turn by turn persistent debuffs as well. Who do you guys got, chat? See you guys out there muttering amongst each other.
Shadows took the lethargy damage last round. It's going to open with major recovery here. Looks like Gumbara's still pushing the pedal here. Bug Sting.
Yeah, gonna have to go for it. I mean, at some point, you've only got 2 scrolls left total. 1,000 cuts is a big one. 93 plus the end of turn damage. Tick, 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 tick.
There it goes. All right, now Shadows is in the red.
Yeah, that was absurd. That was, 1,000 cuts for 93, and then I'd say, 60? Oh, my. Last turn, just going quick here. Fire. Quick fire. Gumbara going to be down to 1 scroll if this turn resolves. Alchemist keeping Shadows alive.
Oh, very healthy.
At least for now.
Yeah.
Whew. Gumbara with 1 scroll. Does it deal 136? Plus the end of turn. Again, don't forget the end of turn damage, chat.
Don't forget.
Heaven forbid. Shadows, I'm sure, more aware than we are. And of course, Capybara feeling the sweat with 1 scroll remaining. Infected Stab. Shadows now laying on some end of turn. That's the only scroll of the turn. This one's going to be tight.
Ooh.
I mean, Cappy has so much health.
Gumbara is so healthy. Shadows now clear of tick damage from Gumbara. Gumbara now continuing to get whittled away. Has had a few more turns of additional damage before taking a just 10 on the lethargy.
Yeah, this. I mean, Gumbara with as much health as they have, but they can only wait so long. I have to believe that they don't have the damage. I mean, obviously, if they had the 92, they'd be playing it. But the
Yes.
question is, how much do they have? Forsaken going to peel the
Forsaken.
stats away for what I can imagine the remainder of the game.
Gumbara gonna hit mana overflow very soon here.
Cool, calm, collected.
Sonic
Down to
Boom
the
for
final
65.
3 scrolls of the match. 2 for RCS playing
Mhm.
Shadows, 1 for Capybara playing Gumbara. Yeah, I don't know that either one of them can finish the game, but it's all about who has run the race most efficiently. Capybara with that maxed out mana bar going to have to take some damage at end of turn here. How much is it going to
Ooh,
be?
the overflow is gonna be 80. Oh my gosh, Gumbara holds on with 7.
7 health.
7.
Crazy. Uh, 1 scroll left versus 1 scroll left. Cappy has to
Oh,
play the scroll because otherwise takes that mana to die, and that is the
yep.
ball game.
There it
Woo!
is. GG's.
Too close to call, really.
Down to the wire there. Shadow comes out on top. 1-0.
On to the next one. Grand Finals Game 2. That was crazy. I mean, I feel like Shadows kind of knew it. Like it was sort of, they're bigger brain than I am, and they knew sort of the damage had been done. As long as I can live through these last 2, there was those last 2 turns of tick damage that were
Mm-hmm.
super scary. But yeah, well done. Gambara knows they need to press the pedal a little bit more towards the floor this time, and it's all about just what scrolls hit the hand. Yeah, shout outs to the chat talking about burning as well. Just in terms of like maybe you have scrolls in your deck that are not great, but when you just need a number of scrolls, that's true. It's another thing to consider. But for the most part, you can't just hold on to scrolls. You got to get them out of the way, get to the ones you need. But definitely an angle to consider for Capybara. Shadows down to 358 pretty early in this one after turn 1. Shadows used Entangled on turn 1. We did see Gumbara use Purification super well in one of their matches earlier to peel off, I'd say, 8 or 10 red status effects. We'll see if we get something similar. Courage.
Yep.
Shadows just laying it on here. Again, I don't know that this is for much more than the defensive buff. Okay, here I am eating my words. Plays instantly plays Sonic Boom.
Yeah,
But
definitely. Cut that switcheroo cut that Magica just in time. That
mm-hmm,
Sonic Boom would have hit for a lot harder.
almost back to full health for both until that end of turn tick damage. I mean, just look at it stacked up over there. Whew. So 1 more turn of debuff for Gumbara, 2 more turns of buff for Shadow, thanks to Courage. Gumbara actually winning the total scrolls at the beginning of this turn.
Ooh,
Both players
purification.
deciding, ooh,
Gamara
yeah.
wiping the slate clean.
Said, see ya, nerds. Leak is going to be problematic. Shadow's not with a huge amount of mana and not going to regen any this turn, thanks to that minus 40. Well, and I eat that instantly because they must have had some sort of mana recovery buff on as well. Shadow's at approximately half health. Gambara sitting pretty at 408. Scroll counts moving along pretty evenly.
Forsaken gonna cut all of those stats on Gunbara. Shadow still looking healthy. And can they utilize that stat line a little bit further? Alchemist comes out from Shadows back into the green health. Titan Bliss also gonna
How
restore a
blissful.
lot.
Yeah, this is I mean, this is reminiscent to game 1, I'd say. Shadows with less health and much less mana, but more scrolls.
Yeah.
Gumbara staying into the green health, keeping the scroll count closer, but unable to really leverage much of their Magicka stat for these big damage scrolls. Healing nature for Shadows. More sustain, sustain, sustain. I'm not sure if we've seen either one of Lore Curver scrolls yet, which those could they can erase some health points for sure. 12 total scrolls for Shadow, 10 for Gumbara. Cut the tension with a knife in here. When's the last time we played Poison v Poison in a grand finals chat? Where's
Oh,
our chat historians?
feels like one of our Titan tournaments.
Ooh.
Maybe definitely sub 20. Sub volume
Yeah.
20.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Infected Stab. Now it's Shadow's turn to scare Gumbara with some of this end of turn tick damage. Oh my, just look at it.
Wow. It
All
just
those red
goes.
numbers.
Yep.
I kind of wish it worked like Killer Instinct, where the combo builds and like the sort of the graphics kind of build as it goes. That'd be kind of dope. Asterisk there, chat. I have no art degree or UI development degree or game science degree, but my brain chemistry says that each time those ticks go off, it should be a boom, 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 boom. You know, just
The number bigger. Bigger number,
big
bigger text. Always. We like big numbers. We're simple folk. We like
Plan
big
of Elements.
numbers.
It's massive. Yes,
Oh,
big number goes up, big number goes down. That's where my dopamine is, chat. Swarm attack. This is the push. This is Gumbara's push right here. Is it enough? End of turn.
Under 5 scrolls for both. Oh my gosh. Shadows at 60, holding strong. 4 to 5
Gumbara
scrolls. Oh my gosh.
resolves first. What did they keep behind? What's in the stack? It's Heavy
Oh,
Carve.
heavy carve. That ought to do
And
it, right?
that
Yes,
is game
indeed.
2. Wow.
1-1.
Big brain. Big brain. 1-1 it is. We go to game 3. Again, this is a best of 5 chat, so both players going to have to win 2 more to take home the crown. Capybara takes game 2. Wow. Held back just enough damage there. Knew when to strike. Pounced on it. Chat goes wild. And the chat goes wild. All right. Grand Finals game 3. We're getting the players locked back in here. Again, weapon switch is allowed. And speaking of,
Yeah, looks like we had some gear swaps.
we do have a switcheroo. RCS choosing the Oaken Shield instead of Spike Shield. I will say minus 10 aura points for not using a gold or epic. But Oaken Shield has more defense. So it's choosing a more defensive option for Shadows instead of that Spike Shield, which could be used to sort of close out a turn or apply some extra pressure. I think Shadows is falling into they've switched into their tankiest mode, if I can say so myself. Shadow Storms, what up? First time chatter in the Twitch chat. Thanks for being here.
Hey, welcome in. Poison
is so back. I love that you came here to say that everybody's feeling it. And like I said, I am so excited that we have 2 very, very different Poison builds here just to show off the flexibility. I know some people sort of critical of our current scroll pool. I know there's one person who's every second comment out of their mouth is like, just release the new scrolls. And it's like, this is what you can do with this element with the current scroll pool. Pretty fantastic job by the balance team, dev team. All righty. Bug invasion from the Gambara. Shadows playing even slower, I think, than the previous two games, which kind of makes sense since they've turned, like I said, I think they flipped the switch to full hardened mode. They're going full metapod, just
Full Metapod. That's amazing.
they're just going harden every turn. I mean, Shadow's still obviously looking for openings to deal damage because you got to keep your opponent, got to keep them honest. But I think the game plan has been turned very much so in one direction. So how will both players react? In my opinion, Capybara very well aware of what this shield switch means. And so probably adjusting their play as well. Meditate and an alchemist. Got to pay for it somehow. Got to make money to spend money. There's the purification. Oof, before all that hits, a minus 50 on the defense gets wiped away. Another expertly played purification from Gambara. Chat, I'll just say it one more time. Hit that follow button or subscribe on YouTube or take a little screenshot of the whichever one of the productions you are watching and post that into proofs and submissions. Get yourself some free titanium just for being here on a Sunday. It's not every day we get to have Championship Sunday after we just had a Championship Saturday. So, give production some love, give the team some love, tell them what you loved about this weekend. And there's lots of things to love, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, proofs and submissions, free titanium. And then you can go shopping.
There's still time.
There's still time. We're only in game 3. Somebody's got to get to 3 wins, Soul Search, Gambara. That's a good scroll to find sooner than later as it provides a buff for the rest of the game. It instantly gets wiped away this turn, at least, by Forsaken Slash. But it will be a buff that Gambara can leverage for the remainder of this game. And we saw that every health point, every damage point was important last match. $50 defense from Shadows. Again, we knew the switch was going to favor that stat on their stat line. In fact, we see Shadows here toss up the Oaken Shield and go to 80 defense. We'll see if Gambara fell for it and is pushing for damage this turn, or if it was sort of otherwise less effective than it could be. Yeah, looks like Gambara said, not today, Junior. Still 60 defense, though, for Shadows. Gambara sitting on that plus 20 from Soul Search. Some forsaken love in the chat, if you will. Bug Sting, first scroll from Gambara. There's those end of turn effects. Magical Slash going to take away 20 from every stat. Creepy Crawlers. And we know that Gambara's already played their purification, so here we are just at the mercy of that end of turn damage. It's going to last for a few more turns. Again, Shadows knowing they have to put some pressure on, or else Gambara can just, slow play all of their recovery scrolls. Drink acid. Is it a double-double? No. Oh, but just in time to take, close to 100. Back off. Gambara knew the timing was right for a wee refreshment.
Players' health totals really close here, and then we're at 6 to 7 scrolls total here, already at the bottom of the barrel.
Ooh, Entangled is going to be good, but the courage,
and the courage
completely offsets. 5 scrolls to 6 scrolls. 5
I heard
total.
you like neutral stats.
That's right. The Entangled, Straight to Courage back-to-back. 5 scrolls for Shadows, 6 for Gumbara here in Game 3 of Grand Finals. We'll see who wants to close it out and who just wants to get there. Vampiric might be I don't know. Imagine that 11 heal right there. Just saves the whole game. 5-4 now. Turns are going to be moving fairly slowly. Nobody wanting to overstep, overcommit when the time's not right. Gumbara sitting on some perma buffs, so, has all the time in the world to wait for things to line up. But are they afforded the time? Oh, 1,000 cuts. Big one. How much? 107. That's going to force the hand of Shadows, and it's not over.
Oh, my
2
gosh.
health.
The 2 hangs on with 2. Resolve second. I don't think Gumbara is going to toss out another scroll first of 2. What's the play here? What's the play?
Gumbara, what you got over there? Oh, the Mirage.
Mirage?
It says, I don't care what you have.
Meditate. And the drink acid?
Acid.
The Mirage fell on empty
What
ears.
are the final 2? What's the final 1?
Oh, man.
Chat, I turn to you and I say, have we seen Heavy Carve? Have we seen the Heavy Carve? Fool me once, Oh, Shadow's playing their last card. They must know. Scrolls aside, this one's going to be going in the favor of Gumbara, playing it expertly. Shadow's having to toss in the final scroll. Oof. 2-1, Capybara winning over RCS, but they've got to get one more victory. Players considering some scroll weapon switcheroos. As we move into game number 4, will Capybara be able to seal the deal with a third victory? Will RCS find the equalizer and take this to game 5? People loving it. I love being able to watch the chat roll through 30 seconds later and you guys just going crazy in the chat. What? That ending was nutty. Yep. The ending was nutty. Yeah, they were going to lose to poison. I think RCS was going to lose to poison damage at the end of the turn, even if Capybara decided to go for lethargy.
OG Poison is back. This is some version of Poison, that's for sure.
All righty. We're getting game 4 back.
Game 4.
Players, start your engines. I mean, the engines have been started. Chat, you might want to start your engines. I got to be honest. If you haven't followed the stream yet, I think we still need 5 followers today to hit our goal on Twitch. I don't know that we have a sub goal on YouTube going, but I'll just say we have a 5 YouTube subscriber goal as well. If you're watching over live on YouTube, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you keep that bell on for notifications when Reign of Titans uploads a new piece of juicy Reign of Titan content. If you're on Twitch, just click that little purple heart. Follow the stream. And as per always, as per usual, you're going to want to take a screenshot of you being here in the stream, hanging out on a Sunday. And what am I saying? Hanging out on a Sunday. Sorry, I got distracted by what we were seeing. A Sunday, take a screenshot of the screen, put it in person submission.
Screenshot. Free titanium.
Oh, man. Do we have any switcheroos? We do not. Forsaken and Oaken Shield for RCS. We've got Lore Carver and Bare Knuckle Boxing for Capybara playing a Poison Titan as well named Gumbara. No shenanigans. The chat was talking up the Merlin play. If you're going to go super slow play and you get hit with that Merlin, Jeebers McCreevers, you can die in a hurry to that
Yes,
mana
indeed.
overflow. What was it? Two patches ago, mana overflow damage got multiplied by 2. Multiplied by 2, Chad. The dev team said, no thank you to not playing scrolls. The game is about playing scrolls. So play those scrolls or take it right on the top of the noggin. But yeah, Merlin, sort of a cheeky play for combating that type of play style. But nobody deciding on that option. Soul Search early here for Gumbara. That could be huge. I mean, I'm not sure that they're trying to really accelerate their play since it seems to be working out the past 2 games. But the option is there with this permanent buff for the rest of the match. Titan Bliss, Shadows going back to full-ish health. Scrolls being played at a relatively even rate. 1 scroll off. 20 scrolls versus 21.
We've got the coin toss for scroll slot resolution. The switcheroo gets cut out. An early drink acid for Shadows here.
Yep. Deciding to go, I mean, again, you can't just sit on those scrolls, but
right.
You also have to wait until you've been dealt enough damage so that you get maximum value out of them. Also, when you don't have to worry about health, you can go on the off. You can flip a switch, and just kind of try to surprise your opponent into doing something silly like playing no scrolls and you play 4. Like that would be a wild turn of events for sure. But again, we are here in game 4 of Grand Finals. Shadows needs to win 2. Gumbara needs to win 1 to be crowned affiliate tournament champion here on a Sunday in April. Man, I love it. Steel Punch. Just lots of scrolls doing lots of normal scrolly things. Nobody really, not a lot of variance from previous play. Oof, look at that end of turn. Pretty early this time. Thank goodness Shadows had those healings at the beginning, or things could be done pretty early here. RCS has a plan.
Ideally,
they both in some ways have some plan. But the question is, stick to the game plan or switch it up. I've been thinking about how that disrupt catching switcheroo, if that was much of a game changer or not. I wonder if it went. I mean, I don't know. It can't be that impactful, Chad. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
A little bit of magicka for a little bit more damage on a few of the scrolls, but again, like these decks don't seem to be built with those heavy hitters or too many of those heavy hitters. So
right, just enough of them.
Major Recovery Gumbara is saying, I am going to be healthy. I am going to be healthy as long as possible and as often as possible.
That's right. New year, new me. 12 scrolls versus 10. Again, not a huge disparity, but, measurable difference. Especially when we've seen at least a few of these games so far go to scroll count. Magical Slash going to ensure nothing gets out of hand in terms of damage output for this turn and next. 11 scrolls versus 8 at the beginning of this turn. Shadows under half health. Stat lines, I'm not going to say irrelevant, but not noteworthy necessarily. Oak and Shield going to put on some defense for the turn, but Gumbara played nothing.
Ooh,
Oh,
the
they played Purification.
Purification.
Played Purification. Just letting it happen. Closing the gap on scroll count. 9 total scrolls versus 7 these days. Gambara going to hit maximum mana if they choose Lethargy again this turn. Cappy shown so far their brain is too big for that. They would not let that happen.
That could never.
And as soon as I say never, all right, he plays Plan of Elements at least.
All right. Yeah,
he would never do that.
Mm-hmm. You've got some Magicka, might as well do some damage. Forsaken going to cut those stats again. Bug Invasion coming in.
Yeah, it's interesting that Shadows can play either one of their weapon cards. So either their main hand and their offhand is sort of a layer of protection, since the main hand strips down the stats, the offhand boosts the defense. 6 scrolls versus 5. This is, just as close as it could be. 205 to 278, the health bars. Thousand Cuts is one of those big ones. How much damage? 111. Just before the protection ward could come in and add 25 to the defensive stat of Shadows. No end of turn damage for Shadows. Coat weapon is the scroll. Creepy Crawlers going to keep Capybara honest for the next couple turns. Shadows just playing with fire here. 85 health left. Drink Acid, though. That's another plus 100. 2 scrolls left for Shadows. It is looking like an uphill battle. 2 scrolls to 3. Will we crown a champion right here, right now? Lethargy for both players. Minus 10 health. Shadows down to 53 instead.
Oh, man. Gambara plays the Alchemist. That is...
Yeah, that might be the curtains there, folks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's 2 scrolls in there. Oh, did we... RCS
and
knows.
Shadows. Yep.
And Capybara wins the tournament, claiming 3-1 victory in grand finals over RCS. Like I said, in a Poison v Poison masterclass. Well done. GG's. What a time to be alive. And we were here for it, chat. We were here. Well done. Team Fury, still love you guys, of course.
Always.
GG's, everybody. Always. 2 tournaments in 1 weekend, chat.
Wow.
How could you not love that? We didn't quite get to game 5 in both grand finals, but we did get as close as we could. So
we got pretty darn close. So
yeah, big shouts to the tournament organizers yesterday and today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we hope to see more and more and more and more affiliate tournaments popping up. If you are interested in organizing/hosting a tournament, just let the team know. Say, hey, I just want to see what this is all about. I'd love to organize something. I've got some people. I've got some hours. But yeah, these affiliate tournaments are growing into something bigger and better every time. So big shout outs to the teams. You guys rock. You guys rock.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us in 2 days across this weekend. We've got our Holders Frenzy coming up on the 26th. So stay tuned for details on that. That's right. 3 weekends a month. Plenty of tournament action coming your way. I'm excited. As always.
Can't wait. Chat, we're winding down. If you want to take a screenshot, now's the time. Now, in fact, there's only a few seconds left.
You only got a little bit. You only got a little bit. Hurry it up. Hurry it up.